Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Flame Emperor episode number 432 based on novel. So let's start. Feeling the increasingly bright divine aura in front of him, the demon of light has closed his eyes, waiting for death. The suffocation made her temporarily forget to breathe. Despair haunts my mind, and I don't have time to think about other things. The bottom of my heart collapsed completely, and I didn't do any resistance. I could only be like a prisoner, quietly waiting for death. Crack. The incomparably dazzling attack was about to destroy the demon of light, but it was torn apart instantly by a black shadow. Xiao Yang, you shouldn't be here. The demon of light, Liu Yun, was already ready to fall, but after she breathed, she saw the black figure in front of him, with the strength of one person, forcibly shattered and tore apart all the sacred filaments, and couldn't help speaking. But she knew that taking this simple attack seemed to be easy, but in fact it had drawn too much power from Xiao Yang. I promised him. Even if it's broken to pieces. The devilish light in Xiao Yang's eyes was completely surging, and endless anger swept out. On the body, blood spilled from the skin, and the seemingly simple blow just now really mobilized too much power from Xiao Yang. His voice was full of shock, and it was easily transmitted throughout the holy city, completely igniting the war in countless people's heart. On Xiao Yang's body at this time, the power of the devil was about to move, but the amber fire of the holy flame swept out, and the existence of the holy flame's Kai, the power of the dragon transformation, made Xiao Yang reluctantly cast Blake at will. The power of the holy punishment that came out shattered. No. You don't know Black's strength at all. Move. Hearing Xiao Yang's decisive voice, an extremely ugly look appeared on the demon of light's cheeks. As early as when he was young, the strength of the three red-clothed archbishops was unfathomable, and now in the past 1,000 years, their strength has reached an extremely mysterious level. Blake is the leader of the three red-clothed archbishops, and even Liu Yun doesn't know how powerful he has reached. But Liu Yun knew that even the powerhouses in the entire Do-Di continent could not cope with Blake alone. Because this is the power of reincarnation. Reincarnation. For the Great Thousand World, it is a strategic force. And Black's power is likely to have reached several reincarnations, which is definitely not comparable to those of the elders of the ancient races. Very good, very good. You are the first guy who dares to openly confront my holy see. You have provoked the divine might of the holy see several times, but this time, let's stay here forever. Seeing Xiao Yang's actions, Blake and the priest behind him did not move, but Blake spoke first. His voice was extremely flat, and there was a vague sense of pride and confidence. Why do you give me so many hats? Today's battle has long since been resolved. Let's do it. Xiao Yang snorted coldly, and the monstrous fighting spirit swept out. Today, he does not use the power of the devil, which is enough to deal with the strong who touch the reincarnation. The power of the devil is a killer, and he will not use it easily. What's more important is that Xiao Yang's devil's cube has been exhausted, and if he uses the power of the devil, he may face backlash. I didn't want to use you for a knife, but you brought it on yourself. Angel's brilliance. The Buddha moved his hands, the void above the holy city 10,000 meters squirmed away, and a dawn beam fell from the sky and blasted towards Xiao Yang. Xiao Yang only felt that the blood in his body instantly solidified, and a chill appeared uncontrollably, and the depression of death swept over. Before the attack fell, the entire holy city sky became violently distorted, the light flickered, and the violent holy fluctuations were enough to destroy everything. Seeing this, Xiao Yang saw almost all the holy flames in his body squirming at the same time, and the monstrous holy flames swept out. The viscous and dense level was like a sea of flames, with Xiao Yang as the center. It was completely brewed. Immediately, the energy of heaven and earth in the entire holy city was suddenly burned, and a faint burst of sound emerged. With the current strength of the 8-star fighting immortals in the middle stage, and the power of the amber rock soulfire, the power cannot be underestimated. Just as Xiao Yang was about to start, a black shadow flashed by, and immediately a huge shield appeared in front of Xiao Yang, blocking this devastating blow for Xiao Yang. On the shield, there are looming mysterious lines, which are extremely dazzling, and there is a touch of terrifying fluctuations on it. The two attacked and contacted, and a crisp and piercing sound broke out. The dazzling light of light collapsed directly after touching the shield. Even if it cracked directly after a while, it did not damage any corner of the shield. This is the infinite shield. Xiao Yang Dingqing took a look and found that there was a hint of gold in the shield, exuding an ancient aura that never fell. Most importantly, Black's terrifying attack, directly under his defense, disappeared cleanly. Soul Tianhao. Can you do the opposite? Seeing this scene, Blake turned his head and said to the gloomy man beside Xiao Yang, "Hey, Blake, your holy see has been doing bad things for thousands of years, and this time I'm afraid you're about to die." Sol Tianhao controlled the infinite shield in the semi-finished state with his palm, stood in front of Xiao Yang, and smiled at him. "And I. Me too." Following Hun Tianhao's shot, many strong men sitting cross-legged on the altar of the holy city stood up and lifted off together, forming a majestic and terrifying scene, and said in unison, "Soul Clan, Ancient Clan, Ancient Clan. CS Sect, Vientiane Pavilion. Super Sect. Good good." Watching this scene, Blake's body slowly trembled, his voice became hoarse, and an extreme anger swept across his chest. "Bishop." At the same time, in the holy city below, countless pious servants flashed a wave of death in their eyes and muttered on the ground. They raised their heads and looked at this scene in the sky, and they looked extremely angry. The holy city is the most sacred place in their hearts, and it is definitely not easy for outsiders to invade. "Let's start." Seeing this scene, Blake actually turned from anger to joy, his voice was full of fury, and he immediately said to the priestess beside him, "Enter the city, holy war. Holy war. Holy war." Priestess Yui's aura became extremely sharp, and she shouted. As soon as the voice fell, countless well-trained guards of the Holy See with good strength emerged one after another from the foot of the holy mountain and the holy city, advancing together, and surrounding here in an orderly manner. The crowds of people are like pillars of light, they are rushing here, and the momentum is huge. What's more, among these guys, there are many strong people with the strength of 8-star fighting immortals leading the team. That kind of scene is very spectacular. "Looks like you're ready." Jiyu Yuan watched this scene, and immediately stepped out, standing in front of everyone. He is the strongest here, and this step must be ignited by himself. Perhaps. But after today, the pattern of Dodi continent will really change. Dodi continent, which has been quiet for so many years, should usher in some changes. Blake laughed. At this moment, the endless brilliance behind Black slowly gathered, and suddenly began to roll violently under the gaze of countless people, and a terrifying coercion gradually swept away with his body as the center. That kind of power is the power of angels, sacred and inviolable, and like reincarnation, unmatched. And on his face, a frantic smile also appeared. The smile is not only a ruthless ridicule for these guys, but also an absolute confidence in his own strength. The sacred halo became more and more intense, and the terrifying power that vaguely radiated from it made people feel terrified. That is reincarnation. This level of power is enough to easily kill everyone here. It's really strong. Xiao Yang and the patriarchs of the 7 ancient clans were at the forefront of the team, facing its attack without reservation, feeling this extreme power up close, and couldn't help being surprised. The power of angels, the power of reincarnation, the interaction of the two forces, swept the entire holy city in a mighty manner, appearing exceptionally brilliant and shining, and the endless sacred aura made the heaven and earth here eclipsed. "Now, what else do you have to say?" Blake waved his hand and signaled the believers behind him, the priests, and some powerful chilling waiters to step back, with a sarcastic smile on his face. "This is the absolute suppression of strength. Let's join hands to defend the enemy. The current situation has long been irreversible. Now that we have reached this stage, don't stand in the wrong position." Jiyu Yuan took a step forward, and the two powers of ice and fire were like two gorgeous energy balls, quietly crawling behind him, but anyone could clearly feel what kind of majestic power this guy contained within his body. With the dual attributes of water and fire, coupled with the strength of touching samsara, I am afraid that Jiyu Yuan can now rely on various enhancements to defeat the strong samsara head-on. Kill, kill, kill. You are in charge of the other Holy See powerhouses, 8 of us, against Black. Yarrow Wan was also standing behind Jiyu Yuan, and the endless aura of life emerged, obviously ready to fight to the death. At this point, instead of being greedy for life and fear of death, it is better to use your own life and wisdom to gain the slim chance of winning. Okay. When the other powerhouses heard the words, they nodded their heads one after another. Their strength was almost only at the late stage of the 7-star fighting immortal to the 8-star fighting immortal. If they rashly entered a battle at this level, they would probably just die in vain. "Add me. 8 ancient clans, we can't be without our Xiao clan." Xiao Yang took a deep breath and said with a very solemn expression, knowing that this situation was beyond his control, but he couldn't ignore it. The 7 powerhouses of the 7 ancient clans did not refuse. Although Xiao Yang's strength was weak, but he possessed many treasures, so naturally he could play some beneficial effects. I'm afraid this guy's strength is not just the reincarnation level. Double reincarnation, such strength and spirit. Xiao Yang's group of 8 slowly surrounded Black, but none of them attacked rashly. Double reincarnation stage. The real double reincarnation is not like Lace's half-hearted strength. The strength of this guy gives the 8 people the oppression, which is unprecedentedly intense and hot. If you are not careful, the whole army may be wiped out here. The 8 ancient clans are all together. However, they are as strong as the Xiao clan, but in the end they can only end up secretly disappearing. It's really hilarious. I just don't know whether your so-called Xiao clan finally became the lackeys of the evil clan outside the territory, or for other reasons. Black didn't rush to do it, because his purpose was not to kill these guys. He is waiting for a strong man to come. At the same time, he is also betting on whether the strong man can come back to save the demon of light. However, before that, these idiots must be made to suffer more so that the chance of that guy showing up can be greatly increased. As strong as the demon world, the master of a world, it is too easy to obtain information here, but to make him appear, the current level of oppression is far from enough. There are extremely strict regulations in the 7 realms. Once the powerhouses of other realms break the rules, they will be punished extremely terribly. But Blake is confident, even if the punishment is terrible, compared to the Demon Emperor's beloved woman, it's a little dwarfed. The 8 people surrounded it with a siege. They all understood the predicament they were facing, so they didn't dare to hold back. The 8 of them, except for Xiao Yang, had also gone through too many life-and-death battles, and just now they had the position of the power and the leader of the clan that controlled the perfection of the 8 star-fighting immortals. Boom. After a while, the Thunder Clan Patriarch took the lead. Above the sky, black thunderclouds quickly gathered and formed. Lightning and thunder in the thunderclouds, and the sound of roaring spread out, making people's minds swayed, and it seemed that some rare thunder of destruction was still brewing inside. Its power is undeniable. Without any reservations, the Thunder Clan's forbidden technique was displayed from the very beginning. The Patriarch of the Spirit Clan also moved. The void in front of everyone trembled abruptly, cracks appeared one after another, and suddenly a huge green beast crawls out. On this emerald green spirit beast, a faintly rich vitality emerges. The overall shape is like a fairy deer, and it is extremely light, but on its 2 antlers, there is a bright green light that can penetrate the entire world. Breathe, quickly gather. Spiritual forbidden technique. After a while, the powerhouses of the other tribes also unleashed their top-notch attacks. The Patriarch of the Soul Clan, the countless ghosts and grievances behind him let out bursts of mourning sounds, but after he breathed, they quickly merged in front of him, a snow-covered ghost sword, extremely bloody. If such a terrifying sword were to fall, I am afraid that the entire holy city would be riddled with holes. In front of the Patriarch of the Medicine Clan, a mouthful of a 1,000-jong green cauldron, containing an aura of endless repression, appeared solemnly. The Patriarch of the Stone Clan has a pale face, and a huge stone shield that is thousands of feet long is enough to isolate most power attacks. The last place, Xiao Yang. Xiao Yang sucked in a breath of cold air, exposing all his trump cards for a while. Holy flame armor. Fighting spirit. The 4 changes of the dragon god came out. Even the clan lines between the eyebrows shine with its own power. The 5 powers instantly blessed, and immediately on Xiao Yang's palm, a beautiful and delicate lotus pedestal was brewing. What a horrible guy. At this moment, when he noticed the reincarnation of Buddha's wrath on the lotus platform in Xiao Yang's palm, even the other 7 powerhouses could smell a wave that was not inferior to their attack. Go. Absolutely can't give him any chance. Although forbidden art is terrifying, in this mountain range that has been baptized by the sacred, its power is greatly reduced, and it is only the power of a small forbidden art. A group of ants. The 8 incomparably splendid attacks were like 8 gods of death who came to harvest their own lives. They fought each other, trying to cut themselves into 8 pieces, but his own strength and their strength are not of the same level. This kind of battle is so boring. Behind Black, the dazzling light fell, and vaguely formed a series of precious wings behind him. The milky white brilliance on the body was magnificent, and with the blessing of angel wings, it turned out to be trying to resist the joint attack of the 8 people. 8 forbidden technique level attacks, even because of the special area here, are 8 small forbidden technique attack. This Blake actually wants to resist with a mortal body. In an instant, the countless guards of the Holy See and the powerhouses in the Doyun continent who were preparing to fight to the death suddenly stopped and stared at the fierce battle in the sky. The 8 ferocious and unusual attacks directly burned the entire Holy City, making the temperature here extremely hot, and even because of such a terrifying confrontation, an extremely dangerous black hole vortex appeared in the sky where the sky was fighting. The black hole vortex is like a ferocious devil, ruthlessly devouring all living beings in this world, and at its center, the power of divine brilliance is extraordinarily brilliant, and for a while it has the momentum of faintly suppressing the attacks of other people. The 8 attacks suddenly shattered and exploded in the black hole vortex, and an earth-shattering sound erupted. The dazzling energy made the entire black hole vortex extremely distorted. Even if they were separated by thousands of meters, the bursts of cold on their skin, the hair standing on end, the cold sweat, and the extreme depression above their hearts, all proved the attack of the 8 people together. How strong is it? Boom. The black hole vortex is extremely distorted, and even if the dazzling energy inside explodes completely, at the same time, the angel wings behind Black are completely formed. The 5 purple angel wings are exposed, and each angel wing contains an extremely magical and divine aura, which sets off its entire body like an angel, symbolizing the mansion of the god. The destructive power possessed by the 8 attacks was enough to completely collapse the world, but at the moment of the explosion, it was suddenly wrapped up by the angel wings behind Black. The seemingly terrifying black hole vortex and the power contained within it are as ridiculous as a toy in front of angel wings. The sound of muffled thunder sounded, and 5 purple angel wings swayed slightly behind Black. At the same time, the mighty black hole vortex of destruction collapsed in an instant without any warning. With the blocking and isolation of Black's angel wings, the black hole vortex did not produce any destructive energy, and it easily turned into countless threads of light, falling down. The body of the 8 people quickly retreated, and there was a look of disbelief in their eyes. Dirty ants, feel the wrath of the angels. Blake's laughter was full of disdain, and the 5 angel wings behind him stirred up, and a monstrous holy light condensed out from his angel wings like a shooting star. However, the 3 and 2 angel wings on the left and right behind Blake are extremely twisted and ugly, so the reason for the imbalance of energy makes his body one higher and the other lower. But even so, it can't hide the supreme power of the world in Blake's body. The holy light meteors condensed, and suddenly it was like a dimensional shockwave, sending out countless blades of light, blasting directly at Xiao Yang and the others. Next, leave it to us. Feeling the extremely terrifying impact blade above the holy light meteor, an old voice emerged. An attack of this level is definitely not something that their 8-star fighting immortal perfection can handle. The void in front of Jiu Yuan was directly torn apart, and a sturdy old man stepped out, with a flicker of murderous intent in his eyes, and at the same time he waved his palm heavily. The sudden scene caused the extremely terrifying impacting meteor and the surrounding void to collapse. Jiu Xingtian. Looking at this scene, Blake exclaimed in surprise. Blake, I haven't seen you for a long time. Your attack is really getting tougher. Jiu Xingtian stepped out, and a mysterious wave swept out, making the entire holy city quiet, and countless energy aftermath fell down. And us. After the breath, in the void behind Jiu Xingtian, 6 figures emerged together. The fluctuations on these guys are all good, that is the power of reincarnation, are the 7 supreme elders of the ancient race. Looking at the 7 people in front of him, Blake didn't have any fear in his heart, and even had an indescribable excitement. With the power of reincarnation, he used the power of reincarnation to cast the wings of angels with one hand, naturally to force these supreme elders out. The supreme elder is already the last reliance of these guys, and their hopes must be stifled, so as to suppress the trial of the demon of light. With the help of the situation of death and no life, there is a chance to lead the demon emperor. All of this is within his own calculations. 5 angel purple wings. It seems that your soul has also become dirty. Jiu Xingtian looked at Blake with angel wings in the sky, and a fierce smile appeared on his cheeks, which made him extremely uncomfortable. I haven't seen you for a long time. I didn't expect you to break through to the 2nd level realm. It really surprised me. Blake's eyes changed, and a terrifying attack was slowly brewing. Your strength also improved a lot. This time, let's compete again. Jiu Xingtian's voice was like thunder, resounding throughout the world, and the terrifying coercion caused some weak people to lose their combat effectiveness. Angel Holy Hand. Blake didn't intend to talk nonsense with these supreme elders. With a loud shout, terrifying attacks followed. Blake's palms suddenly grabbed the void in front of him, and the energy in the holy city tumbled violently, the luster between the heavens and the earth dimmed instantly, and strands of holy light quickly condensed away from his palm. The holy hand of the angel, pure white and flawless, contains a supreme divine aura. It gathers directly on Blake's right hand. Between the milky white patterns squirming, It seems that there are endless angelic Sanskrit sounds spreading out, which is indescribably light and quiet. What's even more strange is that on the holy hand of the angel, a shadow of the angel's soul is reflected. The twist of space. In the face of Blake's level of ultimate move, Jiyu Xingtian roared, and exerted his spatial attributes to the extreme, with an ancient silver luster on his hands, sticking out together. In an instant, 1,000-meter silver vortex suddenly formed in front of Jiyu Xingtian, with unparalleled terrifying and chilling power, directly facing Black. Blake let out a gloomy laugh, the angel's wings were stirred, and the whole body boiled like the sun, and the speed was as fast as a ghost. The dazzling sacred halo lingered on the holy hand in the sky, directly submerging into the silver vortex. Countless space forces penetrated the angel's soul shadow, but it did not cause any substantial damage to it. Instead, the corner of Black's mouth, the smile above, is even crazier. It seems, the so-called double reincarnation is not so terrifying. The holy hand of the angel quietly exploded, and the boundless divine energy directly turned the silver vortex displayed by Jiyu Xingtian upside down, and there were faint signs of collapse. Jiyu Xingtian's body abruptly retreated several hundred meters. The strong bright aura made the aura in his body float violently, his throat was dry, and a smear of scarlet blood slowly overflowed from the corner of his mouth. Boom! Immediately, inside the silver vortex, countless rays of light burst out, piercing the vortex with many holes. After a while, under the gaze of countless people, the silver vortex suddenly shattered. How can it be? Seeing that Jiyu Xingtian, who was as arrogant as a double reincarnation, was seriously injured without even taking a single move from Black, Xiao Yang's 8 people, including the 6 supreme elders who had just appeared, looked extremely nervous. Their eyes exuded endless gloom, and they stared at Blake, who was shining brightly in the sky. At this moment, a rare horror haunts my heart. It seems that when facing Black, all the power in front of him seems to be just as small and powerless as dust. The sky was dead silent for a while, and then it returned to its original appearance. Ancient head, are you all right? Yarrow Tianmo instantly lifted Jiyu Xingtian up, and immediately said with a very strange expression, handed a delicate and small high-level medicinal pill in his hand and sent it to him. Now it is no longer necessary to care about the preciousness of this 7th-grade immortal rank medicinal pill. If they lose this battle, I am afraid that they will never be able to turn around. His power is definitely not like the ordinary double reincarnation. Jiyu Xingtian shook his head and swallowed the medicinal pill in one fell swoop. The gentle and pure power melted away. With his own traction, he stabilized the power of reincarnation in his body. But there was a trace of blood and deep meaning in his eyes. When the strong fight against each other, just one blow is enough to know the difference. Although he didn't use 100% of his strength in the fight with Blake just now, he used at least 60% of his strength. On the other hand, Blake did the same. In such a situation, his own defeat made Jiyu Xingtian's expression even more solemn. It seems that Black, as the head of the Holy See Cardinal Archbishop, still has his own pride. There is still a chance, with our many reincarnations and the 8-star Doshian perfection and other powerhouses to join forces, the final blow. The elders of the Supreme being on the side frowned and leaned over. At this moment, only through this most primitive method, the power of everyone can be gathered into one person to fight against Black. And among the crowd, Jiyu Xingtian, the strongest, who has just entered the double reincarnation level, and the strength of so many strong men, has just had a chance to compete with Black. Besides, I am afraid that no one can compete with its confrontation. Give it to me. Jiyu Xingtian nodded, his voice was extremely old, his fists were clenched tightly, and a sense of righteousness emerged. Little guy, you are a descendant of the Xiao clan, the demon of light will ask you. Jiyu Xingtian said softly to Xiao Yang, the meaning of the words was very clear. Xiao Yang nodded, there was no need to forcefully act as a hero at this time, and Xiao Yang's main purpose was the demon of light. If they defeated Black, they would naturally be happy, but if they lost, that ending would undoubtedly cost too much. Just a bunch of self-righteous idiots. Today, this bishop will not only kill the demon of light completely, but even everyone present will fall with her. Holy Guard, kill me. Kill all the heretics who have dissent towards my holy see. The deafening sound fell from the sky, making countless people's hearts extremely heavy. Kill, kill, kill. With Black's order, the densely packed Vatican guards soared into the air like a killing machine. The speed was extremely fast. The light energy on the body burst out, and instantly launched a deadly attack on the powerhouse of the ancient race below. Attack. Crash. The momentum was huge, and the two sides were completely fighting together at this moment. The scene was extremely hot, and the entire holy city was filled with an extremely uneasy tremor. Go ahead, this is our last chance to strike. The 7 reincarnations, plus the powerhouses of the ancient races, etc., all those with the strength of the 8-star Xiao Yan or above, the profound fighting chi in the body burst out at the same time, and instantly gathered in the sky and void, vaguely transformed into a scene of the Sword of the Sky. Gathered in front of Jiyu Xingtian. Its range is more than 10,000 zhong, and the entire holy city is imprisoned in the void. The power rolls, condenses, and gathers countless profound energies. On the other side, the 5 angel wings behind Blake also started to incite, and the ripples of light overflowed, echoing the scorching sun above the sky, as if a touch of special sacred energy from the far side of the starry sky was slowly coming. Sure enough, it's still the same. You shouldn't have come. I'm just a heretic with a serious crime, not worth it. The demon of light was on top of the cross, with a trembling body, a trace of blood dripping from the corners of her mouth, and her pale face looked extremely weak. When she watched the fight between Jiyu Xingtian and Blake, she couldn't help trembling. Let me help you. Xiao Yang appeared directly beside the demon of light, and a dazzling power emerged, trying to shatter the cross cage and rescue the demon of light. Bold. At this time, the priestess Yui stopped in front of Xiao Yang, and the strength of the 8-star Xiao Yan in the later stage was majestic. Go away. A roar swept out from Xiao Yang's chest, and the incomparably fierce wind suddenly shook him back dozens of meters, and he walked away from the cage of the cross step by step. Tear it off. He touched the sacred chains on the cross with his palms. A strong sacred aura, like a red-hot iron, savagely whipped Xiao Yang's soul, causing Xiao Yang to suffer unceasingly. Hoo-ho-ho. At that time, the demonic power in Xiao Yang's body was automatically protected, and it burst out directly. In conjunction with the power of the holy flame, it suppressed it in one fell swoop, and the sacred chains also began to melt. 5-winged rainbow glow. The deep voice boiled like a flood of beasts. Suddenly, outside the entire holy city, because the 10 sacred pillars could not withstand such extreme oppression, small cracks first appeared, and after the breath, they suddenly cracked open under the gaze of everyone, and turned into powder. The strong men fighting below felt the 2 attacks that were getting stronger and stronger in the sky, and couldn't help but look up at the gap between the attacks. I saw that the sky suddenly underwent many changes. The originally scorching sun suddenly dimmed, the sun in the sky disappeared without a trace, and the sky was directly replaced by an endless, deep and bright starry sky. Behind Blake, the 5 angel wings of God Phaeton were completely integrated with the sky and the starry sky. In the distant starry sky, one after another vast water column suddenly appeared. Among the water column, there were graceful fairies dancing gracefully. The dance of these graceful women is more like a kind of sacrifice, a kind of singing. At the center of the dance of dozens of women, a ray of 7-color rainbow loomed. When the rainbow rays of light on the other side of the starry sky appeared, the entire holy mountain and holy city, flowers, plants and trees all over the place were vying to bloom, and a strong breath of life and pure texture filled the entire sky. Everyone just felt that there was an irresistible force above their head. That is divine power, definitely not a power that mortals can forcefully take over. Sky. Blade. Cut. In the face of such a terrifying blow, Jiyu Xingtian's body floated in the air, and a profound power within his body boiled together, making it temporarily reach the power of half a step 3rd level. Fall down, mortal. Blake exuded a touch of mysterious and sacred fluctuations all over his body, looking at Xiaohong on the other side of the starry sky with fiery eyes, muttering softly. The rainbow-colored Xiaohong was called by Blake and shook slightly. After the blink of an eye, it fell like a meteor, and fell from the other side of the starry sky. Infinite divine power, accompanied by a sacred halo, is like a river of heaven, rushing from the other side of the starry sky, surrounded by rainbow rays. Boom! In the holy city sky, the 2 attacked and confronted, and the whole world was filled with a rather unbearable sense of laxity. The power attack of these 2 is really too appalling. Boom! The energy storm filled with scorching heat and divine power raged aimlessly in the holy city. Wherever it went, there were corpses everywhere and blood flowed into rivers. Whether it is the Holy See or the powerhouses above Doyun continent, except for a very small number of powerhouses who have reached the strength of the 8-star Doxian, other weak creatures who touch the aftermath of energy are like being caught in a storm and strangled to death. Fell instantly. On the other hand, looking at the attack of Jiyu Xingtian, the tens of thousands of Zhong gigantic sky blades never chopped down the colorful rainbows from beginning to end. The time of the confrontation passed slowly, and it turned out to be faintly broken under the watchful eyes of everyone. Markov. Gathering the power of all their strong men, Jiyu Xingtian's power temporarily reached the half-step third level in the reincarnation. In addition to the attack of the giant blade of the sky, he did not defeat Blake. From all these, this time the victory and defeat, I am afraid there is an obvious attribution. You go. The demon emperor is in the demon world. This is my source of energy. Although it's not much, it's enough to let you escape from here. Xiao Yang spent a lot of effort to destroy the cage of the cross and rescued the demon of light, and said to him. Now, in his eyes, the radiance of the devil flashes out, the body is blessed by the holy flame armor, protected by the scales under the tyrant, the blood-red thunder is conspicuous outside the body, and the green vines wriggle under the feet, releasing the with endless vitality. The immortal and immortal power in the body has become unprecedentedly hot. All of these things show the tyranny of Black's attack. Now Xiao Yang is calmer and more powerful than ever before. With his soul perception, it is naturally clear that Jiyu Xingtian's failure is probably only a matter of time. Once the giant blade of the sky shatters, I am afraid that everyone here will not escape Blake's strangulation. If you lose, this is the punishment for the loser. Gathering the power of many 8 stars and even the reincarnation elders to cast a devastating blow, they are still no match for Black. Black's strength is too strong, and his strength is too powerful when combined with the attack of Angel's wings. Moreover, Xiao Yang felt that the information they had collected before was wrong. Judging from the confrontation just now, Blake's strength is not at the second level at all, but at the third level under samsara. The first-order difference suddenly made this perfect plan fall apart, which was something they didn't expect. However, while Jiyu Xingtian and the others have not completely failed, there is still a last-minute chance to turn things around. Xiao Yang believed that this crazy approach was enough to have the power to shock and even threaten Black. This is Xiao Yang's last trump card, and it is also a means that Xiao Yang does not want to use. The power of the devil is incomparably tyrannical and hard to come by, and he is the first and last devil in the Great Thousand World. This power seems to originate from the underworld, and there are still many mysteries waiting for Xiao Yang to unravel. The fire of holy flame is equally terrifying. Combined with Fenju, you should be able to spy on more secrets in the world, but unfortunately, I don't have time now. The current crisis must be resolved, otherwise, if something happens here, the rest will be the endless fire territory and many other close relatives. That kind of ending is obviously not what Xiao Yang wants to see, so at this moment, even if his body is shattered, he cannot let Blake win. Although the method is crazy, it is also unintentional. Furthermore, Xiao Yang is very clear that the nature of detonation and fusion are different. Although the power of fusion is terrifying, it does little damage to itself, but the power of fusion is too weak for Blake now. Detonation is at the cost of losing all power in exchange for infinite power of destruction. After detonation, the several holy flames, demon power, and scales in one's body cannot be recovered once they are detonated. Just like Xiao Xian's life and death on the Doqi continent, he detonated 3 different fires. After detonating these powers, Xiao Yang was immortal and would not fall, but his strength would probably stay at this level forever. After all, these powers are the source of Xiao Yang. But at this moment, Xiao Yang had no other way. It seemed that only this way could turn the tide. This level of battle was beyond his current limit. Wong buzzing. Immediately, Xiao Yang's body became illusory, and several completely different sources of power, like filaments of light, woke up in Xiao Yang's body and rolled violently. In Xiao Yang's pupils, the light of the devil and the light of flame finally ignited completely at this moment. An unprecedented surge emerged, and the crazy fluctuations above the eyelids swept out uncontrollably. This is. The many powerhouses who were in a hard fight below had despair lingering in their hearts. Seeing the countless powers emerging around Xiao Yang, those powers actually contained a monstrous aura that instantly eclipsed everyone, and immediately became suspicious. As tyrannical as the ancient Xingtian has been defeated, how much waves can Xiao Yang, who is not strong enough to reincarnate, make waves? However, this kind of question has not been completely settled. After a while, under the gaze of everyone, the power in Xiao Yang's body actually quickly gathered and merged. This time, Xiao Yang didn't think much about it. The scales above his body fell off gently, and his body burst into flames. The power of the scales, the power of several holy flames, the power of demons, etc. had already penetrated into the power of the limbs and bones, quickly flowed out of Xiao Yang's body. That kind of feeling, as if his life was completely ignited at the same time, and his vitality suddenly passed away. All the power was separated from Xiao Yang's muscles, skin, bones, soul, and even cells at one time, causing Xiao Yang's handsome complexion to become extremely distorted. that kind of heinous torture and pain, if it were replaced by another people, I am afraid that they will fall in an instant. However, Xiao Yang suffered from such drastic changes, but he did not have any fear. What was just a rare touch of madness and persistence. This time, I will succeed no matter what. Detonating power. It's a pity it's too weak. After I kill these guys, I will come to clean you up. Black controlled countless forces to resist the giant blade of the sky that was about to be shattered, and sneered. No matter how Xiao Yang jumped up, the difference in strength between the two was too great, and this kind of battle was nothing to watch. Heavenly marks. I'm quite reluctant to let this kid die. His character is as unrestrained as those Xiao clan friends you call him. But this time, let me come. The Devil of Light held the source Xiao Yang gave him in his hand, smiled. The smile was particularly bright, but before she could finish her words, before she could make any move, the power of the whole world suddenly rolled over Boil Up. A green beam of light burst out from nowhere, and quickly enveloped Xiao Yang. And when this domineering force appeared, the gloomy ghost that was about to emerge around Xiao Yang was also disappearing. Senior. When this green beam of light enveloped Xiao Yang, the many source forces that rolled out of Xiao Yang's body were directly suppressed and returned to Xiao Yang's body. In front of his body, a huge gap suddenly cracked open, and wisps of green energy radiated out, simultaneously nourishing Xiao Yang and the dying bodies of the Demon of Light. Do not. You shouldn't have come. At this moment, the Demon of Light couldn't take care of the abundant life breath on his body. His pupils shrank tightly, his eyes fixed on the void somewhere in the sky, and his voice became choked up. A rare tear lingered in his beautiful eyes. He still came. This video will end here.